Professor Anis Ahmad. Feel right now immense pleasure to say something on how to be a good teacher, especially on the occasion of Teachers' Day through Scholars TV. My dear student, we are all aware that since India is inhabited by numerous faiths, races and communities, it is only through education that we can cultivate in our youth an openness of mind and largeness of heart which make them capable of entertaining and blending in to harmonious pattern differences of ideas and behavior. Hence, we can view that no dynamic teaching is possible without a dynamic teacher. In the words of Swami Vivekananda, the only true teacher is he who can immediately come down to the level of the student and transfer his soul to the student's soul and see through the student eyes and hear through his ears and understand through his mind. Such a teacher can really teach and none else. A good teacher learns as he teaches. As Gandhiji had the same insight when he spoke of education in terms of drawing out. That is, cultivating rather than putting in. Therefore, my dear friend, real education has to draw out the best from the boys and girls to be educated. Finally, teaching includes a host of activities that have in common the structuring of a situation in such a way so that something can be learned. Everything now depends upon what is being taught and to whom, by whom, and to how many. My dear friend, today we live in a rapidly changing and shrinking world. It calls for teachers with a broad, deep and thorough understanding of life. Pupils learn in many ways the attitude of their teachers to problems of life, their points of view and their methods. My dear friend, a teacher is not merely an information monger. He goes beyond it. A teacher link is his teaching with the ultimate values of life. For example, take the case of a teacher of psychology. He goes beyond mere dates and facts and gives an insight into the goals of life and society. He has to strive to create in his pupils a desire to leave the world a better place than he found it. Hence, it is expected from the teacher to combine within himself thoroughness of knowledge and mastery of technique together with a wholesome philosophy of life. My dear friends, ours is an age of knowledge explosion. New knowledge is coming up day by day for which today knowledge is made. Basically, it is manufactured, distributed, stored selectively, retrieved by mechanical methods which almost rival the marvels of the human brain and work much faster. It is not a matter of challenge to a teacher to teach in these trying conditions in our schools or in colleges. In fact, the teacher has to impart the new knowledge to his pupils. We can say that it is an acid test of his success provided he knows more than the pupils. Myopic outlook, I mean to say limited knowledge on the part of a teacher can prove disastrous in his day-to-day teaching. Either he shall be compelled to quit the profession or to swell the ranks of frustrated teachers. Therefore, my dear friend, a good teacher has to go into the depth of the study of everyday life in order to enable himself to do full justice towards his pupils. My dear friend, no one can be teacher without knowing his subject. It is obviously clear that a good educational background is an indispensable requirement of a teacher. A teacher should be born of wide education and good culture. It is important to mention that the school subject should never be taken as separate independent units in watertight compartments, but they must be taken as a whole, leading to the all-round development of the child. A teacher must have accurate, detailed knowledge of certain special subjects. It is because of the fact that vague and heavy knowledge may be enough for ordinary person, but it is of little value to a teacher. Therefore, in order to be a good teacher, one must also be a good student. The best way of improving one's knowledge is by cultivating the habit of reading. Again, my dear friend, I would like to say on the Teacher's Day, to be a good teacher, one must be a humanist, cultured in a very sense, that is intellectually, morally, and spiritually as well. It is undoubtedly fact that all such humanistic culture has a direct bearing on the work of a teacher. He is indeed fortunate in that his studies, although especially useful in his employment, are at the same time suited to the general cultivation of his mind. Therefore, there is a double reason for giving the cultural education. My dear friend, now here question arises that why teach? Why we teach? Basically, teaching is necessary because the students are relatively immature. They learn by their own activity, but the activity needs guidance. It is generally believed that the good teacher knows what subject matter is most valuable, and he is the custodian of a good method of working. It is desirable that pupils should learn as far as possible by their own personal activity. The teacher is necessary to facilitate the learning process. My dear friend, therefore, being a student of psychology, I would like to give my message through Scholars TV that prior to any kind of teaching, a teacher should be clear of its educational aims. It is because of the fact that the most serious causes of ineffectiveness in teaching is a lack of clear aims in the teaching process. Here another question arises that what should be our aims in teaching? We can also put the question in another way by asking what ought to be the results of teaching. This problem may be approached by considering the place and function of a human individual in an organized society. Therefore, in each social function, a teacher needs knowledge, skills, attitudes, and disciplines. Have a happy and meaningful Teachers' Day. Thank you once again to all the members of Scholars TV who organized this program on the occasion of Teachers' Day. Thank you.